Gotta post on Discord too.
You're good. I said if you're trying to watch the stream, you'll have to do it through one of the two of y'all because mine's just not working, and I'm not gonna fidget with it anymore. We just need to go live and make this thing happen. So, um, whenever y'all are ready, man, you can start whenever. We can do the intros. Uh, we'll get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. So, I've got a
I'm sure you
just
do.
in
I only
time
have
for
a couple
TV.
things.
Well, it's not that I have a ton of topics to talk about, but there's a big discussion to have within each of the topics. I have not. I mean, me and Deidre saw Suicide Squad last night.
Oh, nice. I still have to watch it on HBO Max.
It's not bad. It's not a bad
It's
movie.
it's not the one. It's not like, of course, the
It's
original one from
uh
2016.
well, no, but in some ways it's had its own charm to some of it. It's the same concept. Same concept as Suicide Squad. Although they have you going in the beginning because a lot of the bigger characters like Nathan Fillion, Michael Rooker, a lot of people are in the opening couple scenes and then they're like not in the rest of the movie because like it throws you for a loop. Um, all right, I've got all three of us. Sponic's gonna be loading. Has to make the download for Red Dead. So I'm in Blackwater. I'm going to get some ammunition, and then I'm gonna start a Call to Arms game. If it's
All right.
going on, I really hope it is.
It
I'm gonna
should.
start the intro.
Whenever you want to do the intros, man.
Mhm.
It's Call to Arms. Okay. Yeah, the Call to Arms is still a thing, so I still have my Telegram for it.
It has to be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Must See podcast on Twitch, the Thunderdome podcast. Oh yeah,
All right. Where's this episode 30?
Oh my
Big
gosh, my
30
horse is dirty.
boys. You're a filthy animal. All right. Well, welcome to the Thunderdome podcast. I am the whitest motherfucker you know. Donut081893.
I'm Lord of the Reams.
I am just in time for TV.
I like the oomph you had in the intro today, Justin.
Thank you. I'm
Little-
trying
little
to
extra.
mix it up every time.
Yeah.
Trying not to
Have
do
a-
the same thing. I know it's the same effect I always do, but it's the one that hypes everybody up. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's how we started this thing, okay?
Yeah.
So you don't fuck with tradition. You just don't.
No.
All right. Well, we do have a guest today, but he is not at the headset right now. Our buddy ODST 545. Or just Nick. He's a buddy of mine from the army. We were in the same unit together here at Fort Carson, where I'm at in Colorado.
You trying to kill
So
me?
we
No.
we've
It's just
we've
a-
had him on before, and he was a good guest along with my friend Ariel, also Charlie. But today we just have Nick, and when he gets back, we'll have him introduce himself and do all the stuff. But yeah, man, let's get right into it. We'll go ahead and start with the lighter stuff, sports, entertainment, stuff like that.
Well, as we all know, the Texas Rangers are out of playoffs, but yet somehow they're doing really good now.
They're out of the playoffs.
Yes, or postseason, I should say. They've been out for a long time.
Yeah,
But
I have
they
not been keeping up with any of the
somehow
rankings.
beat the Red Sox last night, 10-1 at Boston, surprisingly. Not really else much else going on for sports that I saw. You had that female track girl who got banned from going to the Olympics for smoking pot.
Shakari Richardson.
Yeah, she
Or is it Shakari Richards or Richardson?
Richardson.
Richardson. Shakari Richardson.
she did a competition. She competed this I think it was either yesterday, maybe. But
Yeah,
she got last place.
Damn.
But Yeah. So and then I guess others. I guess if I want to hear some random science news, you want to go get into that or not?
Well, can I
Yeah.
get into professional wrestling real quick?
Oh,
We
sure.
can, yeah, I guess we're on the track of sports. Let's.
So for professional wrestling, if anybody watches the promotion AEW, that's All Elite Wrestling on TNT. If you're familiar with this person, CM Punk has returned to wrestling.
Nice. I saw all the memes and internet posts about CM Punk coming back.
Yes. So it's been 7+ years since he's been
Damn.
in a ring.
How old is he?
He's like almost I think around 40.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all wanna, I'm gonna load up the call to arms mission if you want. That's where we can get that started.
Yeah, so they were in Chicago, his hometown, this Friday, for AEW Rampage, and everybody was. I was already anticipating him returning because it's been all over the internet these past few weeks of him signing with AEW, and it's official now. He's in AEW,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's very exciting to see that.
Load up the mission here in a second.
Anything else for sports?
Well,
I mean, you do have the freaking NFL preseason still going on, which honestly, I don't care what the scores are for my team. It's just
know my team
preseason.
is, and I think still undefeated.
well, the Cowboys have been shitting the bed in preseason, but that's no surprise to anybody. I have not really been paying attention to too much else. I think
I haven't
we were
really, I can't even
watching-
watch a game unless it's on NFL Network.
yeah.
But I mean, it's like I said, it's preseason, so I'm not really worried. It doesn't
yeah, it is
mean anything.
preseason, so it doesn't matter that much. But I did see. I think I saw the Jets beat Green Bay last night. That was. Well, I don't know if we'll ever see that during the regular season, but like, damn, dude. I don't know. That's fairly impressive, actually.
Yeah, they gotta enjoy that while they can.
Yeah, I would say without Aaron Rodgers on the field, though, I don't think it's really. You can't really say they actually beat Green Bay. That's just not happening.
They just beat the secondary team for Green Bay.
Yeah, they beat the practice squad.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Good job, guys. Well, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Shit happens, man. You can't always assume it's gonna just be repetitive stuff.
No, I mean, like we said,
But
it's
I think-
preseason, so anything, and anything and everything can happen.
Yeah, you can get a little wild. Oh man,
It's already starting to storm.
I know. I'm saying it makes
My
this
favorite
call to
part of
arms
the
seem
game.
so ominous.
My most favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
The best part of the game is when thunderstorms start happening.
Yeah, that's about it for me for sports. Just that stuff. Not much exciting things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got a whole lot happening in regards to just boxing and MMAs. It's been
Look at
pretty
the
quiet.
Pacquiao fight happened.
I did see that. I did see that last
I
night.
guess I heard that he
actually.
lost.
I didn't see the whole thing, but it's very possible that he lost.
Are we skipping
I
the
saw it up front.
preparation?
I'm not. I'm going to set up our guys on the roofs.
I didn't do
I
anything,
would-
but it says
I would suggest
two
getting our-
of the 4 people.
Yeah, I'm not one of them, so I don't know if it was you two or what. But
No, it was me.
well, we still have 3 minutes, so I would suggest getting our the lawmen up on the roofs as fast as possible. Because I would rather keep them alive because we get a bigger bonus payout based on their survival. So make sure we're grabbing all of our
Hopefully
guys.
the game does not break on us this time.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was such a horrible way for things to play out. I did not mean for the game to shit out on you like that, Justin. I'm sorry that was
It's
your
okay. No, it wasn't.
first
It's not your fault.
experience.
It's not your fault. It's the
I
game's
know.
fault.
No, I know. We hyped it up, and I feel bad.
Where are you
That's
going?
okay.
Follow me.
I don't even know if I got any money
They'll
for that
follow
last
you
time.
eventually. Well, you should have gotten something, but probably not much, and that's the crappy part of it. That
And then how
Probably
many
didn't do you
levels
much.
were there again? I forgot.
there's 10 waves total. What are you doing? Guy.
This person just keeps going down.
This fool like came all the way up just to fall off the edge of the building and somehow not die, but still just fell off the edge of the building here. I would say if you can get our guys to the roof, that's where they'll be the safest.
That's what I'm
I
trying
just
to
know
do.
that.
But they're
yeah.
not cooperating.
Well, they never cooperate.
Why are
At
you
least
going
get
back
get
down?
into these.
57.
I would say get them into these cover positions at least.
Oh
'Cause if
my
they're over here, they'll at least
God.
sort of
Stupid.
Like,
Stop
they'll at
going
least sort of
down.
Take cover and fight.
Holy crap. Follow me. Go over this wall. No, don't go back down.
Yeah, you have to like they won't follow you, and you have to kind of move. You have to move in the general direction you want them to move. You have to do that.
Whatever.
There's one guy up on the roof there, but I don't know. I would leave him up there to be honest.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about him anymore. He can die.
Well, I just think he already has a good position.
He would have had a better position if he followed me, but he kept
Well, yeah,
rejecting
but
me.
he's being stupid.
Okay, anyways. I guess not weird science shit. But
Let's hear it.
Big Daddy Elon Musk
Big Daddy Musk, baby.
now
Radio Kid's sworn enemy.
I guess bound to creating a robot.
Oh yeah, that robot.
Is he already in sort of the AI race that's going on, or is he sort
Now
of
he
not
is.
in that? Is he?
He's
I
trying
thought
to
he
build
was
a
already
robot
with,
now.
like-
And you got like
Well, with
Will
Neuralink
Smith.
and stuff, he's trying to.
Will Smith on his Instagram. He's made a reference to like iRobot. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He posted a picture
mean-
of what the robot would look like and in real life for Elon. And then the
Yeah.
next picture was Will Smith in the movie iRobot. Kind of like having that stare.
Yeah. If y'all want to start the game, you can. I don't think these guys are gonna. Yeah,
I've been
I'm not-
ready for the
yeah.
preparation.
Yeah.
So
I
it was
got
you.
I got a bunch of our guys. No, I just did it now.
Oh, awesome.
What?
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
he
Well, you
was,
said it
there
was.
was two out of the.
Yeah, I was the first one to do it because I don't.
Yeah. He didn't
I don't
care
forget.
about He didn't care about preparations.
No, he just wants to get right into the action.
Yeah, he just wants to kill people.
Yes, I do.
Freaking psychopath. Spunky
Before
little
it bugs
psycho.
out on us again.
Yeah, right.
All that hard work and we lose everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, honestly. Not much,
Alright.
not much
Well, that's,
nothing else exciting, I should say. I mean, that
Well,
should be
we'll
pretty
see.
interesting how the robot thing's gonna turn out. I mean, we already got
I
kind of
think
like
with-
robots doing like deliveries and stuff,
I
and
know.
driving themselves, like delivering pizza and stuff, supposedly, which I
Yeah.
haven't seen that for Domino's.
I haven't seen the Domino's bot, so I don't know if it's actually a thing. I don't mind the.
They
people
keep
are
promoting it on the
afraid
commercials,
of
like
the-
they show it.
Yeah, with the Noid and all that shit from the old cartoons. I think robotics and advanced artificial intelligence are going to be a big part of our future. But I think the problem is we look at it as a threat. We immediately see it as a threat.
They took our jobs.
Well, no, not even that. People are worried that AI would be too integrated in our technology because our society is already so integrated into technology that it wouldn't matter. Since all of our stuff is automated, they're worried about what happens when you have an artificial intelligence that gains sentience but has unmitigated access to all of technology. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest fear, which is like, that's kind of maximum overdrive shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. The guy was going up the ladder and he fell right off. That's funny to me. I think it's going to happen no matter what. I think we're going to see AI and smart tech become more mainstream. So let me text my buddy and see if he's going to get on. That was you. Now we're going.
Oh, and I guess in other news, COVID news, you had Governor Greg Abbott testing positive, and also the lead singer for Slipknot, Corey Taylor, tested positive as well. But Corey,
Yep.
he's a double vax, so he should be okay, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure all the liberals were very happy to hear that a Republican caught COVID, so they could just be like, I hope you could die, because Democrats are pretty terrible fucking people.
And I guess like another. Go ahead.
I was going to say on that note, I know a bunch of senators, like I know Hickenlooper from Colorado.
What the fuck?
Got it as well. Oh Jesus! Did you get yourself blown up by an explosive barrel?
Apparently, yes.
That'll happen. Well, I got a man down.
Ow. I was not expecting that.
That'll happen.
Any Rand Paul news or whatever his name. Rand
Well,
Paul.
they banned him from YouTube because he's one of the few politicians with the balls to stand up to fascist Fauci, who is just a scumbag. At this point, everyone should understand I do not like Dr. Fauci. I don't think anything he says is relevant. I think he's a washed-up old has-been, and he needs to shut the fuck up. And he's not a political figure. He's an out-of-practice fucking virologist who has made underhand deals with the Wuhan Institute of Virology and the U.S. government and Chinese government and all sorts of things. So I don't trust him after anything he says. At this point, anyone willing to do business with China should be like doxxed and sanctioned because of just how much of a human rights violation perpetrator they are. And everything they do is just they're the scummiest, most criminal element in the entire world. Everything they do is underhanded shadow governance. Everything they do is authoritarianism. They want to take over the world. I don't care what you think. That is the fact. China's end goal is world domination. They want to be the dominant world superpower. They want no competition. It's why they're undermining the United States economically all the time. So I was just
don't do that.
I'm just saying like.
Right.
That is who they are, and their mistreatment of the Uyghur Muslims, the Hong Kong citizens, the free Taiwanese people. They've been mistreating them forever now, really, ever since anybody that ever stands in the way of their like unified one world government, one world leader, one world superpower. They will do everything they can to destroy you. That's not even not an opinion. That's a fact these days.
Maybe so.
So
Yeah.
Always up top. Well, some things in entertainment news. Side Squad last night, I have to say. Saw it with my girlfriend. Not a bad movie at all. Little different from the first one. Margot Robbie is still Harley Quinn. They have a few new people. John Cena was in it, and I think John Cena's role in the movie is about as real as his role in real life. I think he's a fucking rat and a douchebag. Ever since he came out with that whole statement in Mandarin, mind you, about apologizing to China for recognizing the free people of Taiwan. Like, dude, you realize what you just said? You apologize to an authoritarian rogue state. Not really a rogue state, but an authoritarian... oh, you know what? Fuck them. They are a rogue state. They do whatever they want with no regard to the rest of the world. Basically, the biggest criminal element of the world. He apologized to them in Mandarin for recognizing Taiwan as a country, and he's just a slippery little weasel, and I don't really care for John Cena anymore. But he was the same in that role as he is in real life. He's a spineless little guinea pig rat, and he doesn't care about anything. He talks a big talk, but he doesn't do anything to actually help his own countrymen. He's about himself and his money.
He's a big superstar.
Good movie though. He's a piece of shit. So there's that, and he but you know what? He did an okay job at his role. So at the end of the day, acting's acting. I have to give him credit. I didn't hate his character, but there was some funny bits with him.
I look forward
Good
to
movie,
seeing it
though.
soon.
Yeah, it's got Idris Elba as one of the main characters. There's a few appearances by guys like Nathan Fillion, Michael Rooker, a couple other people that are in it that make early appearances that are pretty good. Uh, uh, Obviously, none of the superheroes really make any appearances. They just kind of they're mentioned. You know, apparently either Idris Elba's character or John Cena's put Superman. It's like, oh, you put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet. It's like, oh wow. So, it's kind of cool that they have that. Those little mentions. But entertaining. Entertaining. What I'm getting at is it fulfills the purpose of the movie. It entertains you for a few hours. Otherwise, Halo Infinite news. Unfortunately, you take this as you will, but co-op campaign and Forge mode will not be available at the launch of Halo Infinite. However, they said they should
I
be.
saw that.
Well, let me offer defense. Let me offer a defense of it. After the 2020-2021 year of gaming with Black Ops Cold War, with Cyberpunk 2077, with all these games that had all this high hopes but kind of flopped on the launch. If they need to take their time to perfect the final product, then yeah, they have my unconditional support with that. I would rather see them take a little more time to perfect what they have than to just release a dog turd. So, just got word. My buddy Sponic should be joining us about 10-15 minutes. He went out to sort of walk around with his kid.
It's fine.
Yeah, so he'll be in. But he's definitely got some opinions on some of the other topics that we're going to talk about. I think Forge mode will release within like. I think they're both gonna be finally like released for the game within the 6-month mark, and I think it's gonna be a very good game. I think it's gonna come out. It's gonna do a really good job. So I'm optimistic about it. I'm looking forward to Infinite. I did hear Metasponic does have a Xbox Series X or S or whatever. Hang on. Excuse me. Oh, I thought I had to sneeze. That's the worst goddamn fucking feeling ever. It just makes me angry. Because I have to sneeze and then I don't. Yeah. You just, when someone's about to sneeze, damn it! The Xbox Series X will also only, it'll only have digital, launches. It will not have the it will not have hard disk. There's no disk slot. It's just all digital, which I can understand where they're going from with it, because it does. We are getting into the age where like there's no need to create a physical disk, right? Because I mean, just less product, less garbage. You know, you're creating less waste. So I get it. At the end result, it is good for the environment. So I think that's a positive thing. Also, you know, my only gripe with it is when you have a hard copy disc and like it's backed up by a digital copy the way it is like through the Xbox Live Game Pass or through like almost like a cloud system. Whenever you have an issue with a digital copy, you can always throw the hard copy and be like, like you will be forced to unfuck yourself, you stupid bitch. That's what my favorite is about it.
Mm-hmm.
So. We'll see how it goes.
And with having a hard copy and whatnot, you get all these scratches, and then you gotta get another game. And
well,
like,
yeah, but that's more of a defense of the digital, and I guess that's warranted. That you can say that. You know, it is. They do have their benefits. Each one has its own pros and cons. So, yeah. I would say just as long as people take care of their discs, they shouldn't have issues. But discs are also very fragile, and you know they get damaged over time. Eventually, they're useless, and you just throw them out. You know, and I don't think the material that discs are made out of is good for the environment when you throw them away. When they get turned into scrap. So, oh nice, I got the headshot through the wagon. And then you can shoot through objects too well. That was like only with certain weapons. So, well, crypto had a big jump today. Really, this whole week, crypto's a big jump. Bitcoin is at just over $48,000. Ethereum is at just at over 3,100. So both the big cryptos, all the big cryptos are really seeing a huge jump. And I wish we had Radio Kid here to talk about it because he's more the financial guru. But I think it's an indication of the times, man. I think we're looking at decentralization. So many people want to get away from the fucking government and everything they have to do with anything, to include currency. We don't have any faith in them, so why wouldn't you want to just pop smoke on that, you know? I think you'll see. I think we're gonna see crypto jump again. We're gonna be seeing it continuously jump. I think Bitcoin's gonna pass 50,000 here in the next week or so. I would say within the next month. I'll give myself the time. Within the next month, I think Bitcoin's gonna go over 50,000. I think Ethereum's gonna break like. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum breaks 3,500. If it gets to 4,000, I'd be genuinely impressed. We still have all the stocks, AMC and whatnot. The stock market revolution is still sort of ongoing, although it's lost some of its original steam. But we'll get into some of these juicier topics here. I think my first one we do need to talk about. We're on COVID, and we do need to talk about COVID passports and vaccine mandates. We've already talked about. I know we briefly talked about New York went full authoritarian. They're saying you want to show your papers. They want to make you show all the documentation to do anything. So it's kind of like, well, I don't know about this. Like, this is not who we've ever been. I still stand by it. If you're about vaccine mandates and passports, you're not an American. You're an authoritarian cuck. And quite frankly, I think you're a horrible person mandating anything on anybody. I've always been about the choice. I didn't know what y'all felt about that.
Yeah, it's all choice, honestly. Shouldn't have been mandates.
Yeah. So what do you think about like mandates and the ideas of like a vaccine passport? Almost like it's a social credit system, you know, like your social credit score that China's implemented. We're getting towards that with like these vaccine passports and people having to prove or show that they did this. They're in lockstep with the current government narrative and everything going on. I'm not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of that when anybody does it, so I'm not going to be a fan of it when we do it. I think it's the way that it's the way you fragment your society, and all that's going to happen from this is you're going to see America fall apart. I mean, we're already seeing the fall of America. They always say that an empire falls for economic reasons, and it looks like we're falling because of economic reasons, right? Mm-hmm. They did a poll recently of everyone that voted in the 2020 election. And, like, even among Democrats, people that voted for Joe Biden, it's some crazy high percentage that, like, 70% of people that voted for Joe Biden regret voting for Joe Biden. And if they did the election today, Trump would have won. I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. I think it shows that we voted for a guy not based off his principles, but because we hated the other guy. And we generally hated the other guy because he was kind of a jackass. Like, his policies weren't always the best, but some of his policies were really good. Foreign policy. I'm not a fan of his immigration policies. I'm not a fan of getting rid of the DACA, the Dreamers, you know. Basically, if you're a child born in the United States, it's like you're allowed to be a kid in the United States. Or if I think it's like, I don't know, I'd have to talk to some of my friends who are teachers and dealt more with that, but kids that were born in the United States or immigrated to the United States at a certain age, like, we would help them get like education and stuff like that, and I'm all for that. I think we need to do more of that. We need to make it easier for people to want to become citizens the right way, rather than force them to, you know, create this criminality element to immigration, which is kind of what we've been doing for the last several kind of years. I would say at least the last decade and a half. And I think you have 25th Amendment trending on Twitter, which, if y'all don't know what the 25th Amendment is, old bitch Pelosi put it in place during the end of the Trump administration. And originally people thought it was to get rid of Donald Trump. He said, no, this is not for Donald Trump. They knew going in that when they voted in a senile old buffoon like Joe Biden, who is not even there, like the guy has fucking Alzheimer's, okay? If you can't admit that right now to yourself, like you're living in a goddamn simulation. You're an idiot. And you're the reason why we're so fucked. I think when you vote for somebody because you hate the alternative, you're not actually voting for that guy. You're not voting for anything. You're voting for nothing. Nothing, no one. You know, like you represent nobody, you stand for nothing. You don't have policies of your own. Your whole platform is vote for me because that other guy was horrible. Like, yeah, okay, he wasn't your favorite. Got it. What are you offering me though? Like, what are you going to offer me that makes you worth voting for, rather than just, well, I don't like that guy. Well, that's great. I don't like a lot of people. You don't have to like your commander in the military. It doesn't mean you just, you have to deal with it sometimes. He might not be a bad commander. He might just be a dick. Mm-hmm. But maybe he knows what he's doing in certain things, and maybe the rest, you have to figure it out in time through just dealing with it. Joe Biden's offered nothing in return. The economy is in a horrible position. Afghanistan has fallen. China doesn't take it. We're being pushed around by China, like not that we haven't already been, but even more so now because they know we don't have a leader. We just have this bumbling dotard. His mental health is declining. His physical health is declining. The guy's almost 79. His birthday's in like November or some shit. He's about to be 79 years old. He's got Alzheimer's. He has no mental function. Like, this guy is the worst. If you voted for him because you hate Donald Trump, you're the reason we're in this shithole position right now. So, I really hate to say it. I mean, if you'd at least tell me why you voted for him based off his policies, not like, if you could tell me why you voted for Joe Biden without saying Donald Trump or mentioning anything about the previous administration or insinuating it, then I would at least have more respect for the reasoning. But, like, even my buddy Michael came over one time, like months and months, like actually it was like last year before the election, and he was like, I gotta vote for Biden. I said, why? He's like, because I gotta get rid of Trump. I was like, what does Biden stand for? He's like, that doesn't matter. But it does matter because you're voting for a guy with no plan is going to fuck everything up.
Mm-hmm.
All because people were getting confused about what actual fascism is, and they think anybody they don't like is Hitler. And it's like, if you disagree with me, you're a Nazi. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, no, that's not policy. That's not a policy at all. That's not a position. You're telling me you don't like this dude because he's mean. I mean, okay, dude, that's great. He can be mean all he wants. It doesn't really matter. So long as he doesn't fuck up the job.
Yeah.
So, no, I think our economy was great under Trump. I think people respected us. I wasn't, again, not a fan of all of his policies. Definitely not, but he did it. But he was doing a better job than Joe Biden. At least, in all in all, on average, he was doing a better job than Biden. But it's just a disaster, man. But the 25th Amendment is basically, I forgot to explain this. 25th Amendment is basically, it was added last year, and it allows, with I think a congressional vote, it allows the current sitting president to be unseated due to the idea that he's not right for the job. Like, whether the president does not have the cognitive ability to, like, actually, come here, bitch. To actually perform the duties of the President of the United States. So, it's relatively legit.
Wagon coming in?
Say what?
Wagon coming in?
Oh, crap. Gun wagon?
Probably.
Is it big and metal?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
That's a gun wagon. That's a gun wagon. Great. I hear the gunshots going off. Shit, alright. Wagon's done, I think. So,
Not everyone's gonna give you a clear answer on why they voted for whoever they voted for.
Well, I think some people more than others. I definitely think with Trump supporters, they will definitively tell you they thought Trump was great for the economy and the country. They really will, and it's like, well, they actually believe that, and they'll tell you why. They'll tell you they think Trump's foreign policy was strong. They'll tell you that they thought his stance on XYZ was great. They liked it, or they were just, it generally resonated more with voters. They were tired of a politician. Like, most of us don't want politicians anymore. We understand politicians are slimy, horrible people. Often they're pedophiles or rapists, you know what I mean? Like, these are not good people. These are bad human beings that get elected into power. And usually if they're not bad when they come in, they turn bad in time. So it's like, well, listen, you have to understand that politicians are human and humans are pretty fallible.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's our biggest problem. But I think when it comes to our when it comes to like understanding policy, what, like, can anybody tell me what Joe Biden's actual policies were, or are we legitimately just admitting at this point, now that it's too late to do anything about it, at least as far as not voting for the guy, because it's too late. Now we can admit, oh yeah, no, we think he's a horrible option too, but we literally threw away all of our morals, principles, and our whole constitution, not of the United States, but people's independent individual constitutions of who they, like, their fortitude as a person, their conviction as a human being was just lost.
Yeah. I'm not
All
sure.
because, you know, Orange Man bad. I don't know what y'all have to say on that. I know, without getting into the disagreements, I know not all of us here were fans of Trump. Not all of us here were fans of so a lot of our presidents. I mean, I'm not a fan of Biden. I know y'all weren't a fan of Trump. I don't really particularly care, but everyone is allowed to have their opinions. It's just understand that sometimes when you make a choice, it will have a consequence, and you might not like the consequence because maybe you weren't expecting it, or you thought that it was genuinely a better option. Just make a bad call. It's fine.
Hi, Morgan.
People make mistakes. Hello,
Hi,
Morgan. So I don't know. I've had people say, they're like, "Oh, he's actually like Hitler." Like, in what way was he like Hitler? Because he gave speeches, or because people were really overzealously into him? But I don't know. I think people forgot what the fucking definition of a fascist was. Fascism, none of this. So any of the new definitions you're hearing, like ultra nationalism or hyper right, like far right identitarianism, that's not fascism. That's never been fascism, dude. That's the problem. Is people are too fucking stupid. They'll believe anything the news tells them. This is what fascism is now. Fascism was the merger of corporation and state. That's what it was. Not to be confused with communism, which is the state seizing the means of production. So fascism is when you have these big businesses, kind of like they are now, big tech, big pharma, all these big industries, getting in cahoots with the government. It's always been that. It's never been anything different. Just because we relabeled it so we can get away, so the government can get away with a lot of shit. And the news media is a perfect example. The news media is a fascist organization. Our MSM is horrible. They're terrible goddamn fucking people. Like Don Lemon, Brian Stelter, CNN, all of them, even Fox to an extent, all shitbag human beings. All right, I'm sorry, you're not gonna convince me otherwise of this. The far left and the far right are just as bad as there's not a better side. The problem is who owns all the means of, who owns the media, who owns all the institutions, all the social institutions are owned by the left. They're run and owned by the left. They're not run by the fucking right. Like, never have they been run by the right. Always the left. So when you talk about institutional racism, just remember who the fuck runs the institutions, guys. Like, don't bitch about how certain people have it bad, that you're on the side that's trying to help them, when you're on the side that's been shitting on them for years. Like, I don't understand how people don't, this doesn't register with people.
Another wagon coming in.
Yeah, I see it. So, I don't know. I think people need to open their eyes.
How do you usually take down the wagon? Just throw dynamite?
Dynamite, set it on fire, do something, anything at this, if you can get close to it. The fuckers moving into the harbor, so you're gonna have to cover some ground to get to him. But if he just keeps going around the city, then like you'll have to cut him off and then throw dynamite and bomb his tracks. I'm gonna set it on fire here in a second. Did you already kill it?
No, I'm taking down this guy
Someone
with
did.
armor.
Someone already killed it then. Probably our fourth guy. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? If Spotnik doesn't show up here in the next couple minutes, then we'll probably just have to like try again another time. But
We're doing
I guess-
okay, Morgan. We're just chilling.
oh yeah,
Morgan's
just
asking
another
how we're
day.
doing.
We're doing good. Morgan, how are you?
Really wish I can clean my gun up during intermission.
Can you not?
No. Oh, she's driving. Well, be safe. Be careful. Drive safe.
I guess be careful.
Okay. Well, I don't know if y'all have not, if we don't have any other things to talk about. I guess let's just push into the big conversation for me, at least, is the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban. This last
Which
week
we
has
thought
been,
that the Taliban was supposed to be like nice to the Americans, but apparently they're not.
well, since fucking when?
I don't
Dude.
know. I mean, I thought that I've heard that.
That
they
was
were,
the
like,
idea.
they
Well,
were-
the idea was that the Afghan national government was going to hold its ground and was going to actually fucking do something. You know, like the Taliban were going to fuck off and mind their business. The ANA would have their provincial government. And the Afghan government would have their provincial capital, and they'd run things their way. And I mean, it was never a perfect idea. The thing is, you can't kill all the Taliban. Like, you can, but I mean, there's no way you're going to do it without inflicting civilian casualties. And at some point, you're just not going to win. It's an ideology, man. It's an extremist religious ideology. Going to get rid of it. It's here to stay. I don't really know the solution, but I know the solution wasn't what we did. Now, the problem is we didn't do enough to save our people. The interpreters, the ANA soldiers, the
I'm
ANP. Well, where are you at? I see you. I'm coming. I hope I get there in time.
in the fetal position.
God damn it! Get away from me. But, yeah, dude, that was one where we just shit the chicken real bad. Ah, there he is. He's back.
Yes, I've returned.
You returned.
With
You're actually-
lovely music.
Yeah. He's,
Oh, the fucking cocoa melon in the background.
That's a good entrance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is our guest today. A old buddy of mine from the army. I'll let you introduce yourself, man. You don't have to give your full name. You need to give your gamer tag or wherever you want to go by on the internet. Because I know the internet's full of fucking weirdos. Sponic. Oh, never mind.
Nameless.
Nameless. Well, it's my buddy Nick. We're in 277 Field Artillery together, and the 4th Infantry Division, 2nd Brigade. So, yes, that is his kid you are hearing, watching your TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, you want to just kind of give your own introduction of who you are, and you don't have to give your full first and last name if you want to just give a gamer tag or a Twitch handle or something. I was just introducing you as a friend of mine from the army, all that.
That's pretty much how it can stay.
Yeah, that's fine. Gamer tag is just ODST, 545, right?
Yep.
Okay, well,
I think my Twitch handle is the same thing, but
yeah. So we literally were coming around to the political stuff and national policies. We're talking about the fall of Afghanistan and COVID vaccine mandates and passports and what's going on and how that affects. So I guess just throw your 2 cents in there real quick.
Which one you want me to start with? The fucking
Dealer's
COVID
choice,
or
buddy.
the...
Dealer's preference.
Well, as far as mandating vaccines and having to carry papers and stuff around, it's just, to me, seems a little bit like a play out of fascist Germany's book, where, like, you know how people say, like, history is bound to repeat itself if you don't, like, study it and shit?
Yeah.
That's basically what I see going on with this, because like I just said, Nazi Germany, if you were a Jew, you had to carry around your papers and you had the star and all that stuff to mark you as not
part of not one of the Aryans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now,
Well,
with the vaccine, you have to carry those papers around saying that you got your vaccine to as it stands now, just to fly in and out of country. But
yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm down. I just got just lit up by that gun wagon.
Jeez. Alright.
But I foresee it becoming exactly the way it was in Germany, 1942 through 4, where you have to have those papers to buy groceries, to get gas, to get any...
Oh, dude, it was before that. It was 39 to 45 all the way. Really, maybe not in the last few years, but because the war was brought to Germany. But oh, cool, our teammate got me. Thank Jesus.
I was going to get you.
No, I know it's okay. I'm not saying I'm not saying like fuck you or anything. I'm just saying he came and got me. I'm alive. You know what the saying I've heard is that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does recycle itself.
Fuck, I'm down.
Shit, where you at?
I'm the
See,
only
I've
one that
never
gets
heard
killed
recycle,
right
I've
then and
only ever
there
heard repeat.
and not down.
Oh, that's more of a newer one I've heard. Is when they say history repeats. Well, I think history also recycles. You see different people doing old shit, right? Now it's funny that it's America taking the page out of Nazi Germany's playbook. But shit, I see you. Fuck, I don't know if I want to make it, man. No. Fuck.
I mean, not saying like comparing to Nazi Germany completely, right? But just
I mean, I would, kind of.
I wouldn't say entirely, but a lot of it is reminiscent of that.
Yeah. I mean, not just that. I mean, you have to think Mao, Stalin, fucking even Russia, China, a lot of other countries have done this shit before.
Yeah. And that,
I mean,
that was one thing I was going to bring up, like being Russian, right? We're not
right.
just like history classes and stuff here. They're going to omit a lot of bad things,
Right.
but I know in the USSR, if you weren't of Slavic descent, you had to carry papers around that stated that you weren't, and you weren't able to buy anything without them, all the way up until I think it was like 86, 87.
Really? With
Yeah.
the fall of the Berlin Wall and everything?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about, man, that we're going down this path, and this just doesn't seem very American. I've said anybody who supports vaccine mandates, passports, anything where you're saying the words "show me your papers" in any regard, I don't care. You are not an American. You're an authoritarian fuck, and I have no respect for you. I think those types of people are the worst types of people, because right now they're using it, trying to hold some sort of moral superiority, saying, "Well, I support this because I don't want to kill grandma." But you don't care. If grandma was against you, you would want to chop her fucking head off, dude. You're a tribalist. You're not you don't actually believe in freedom, or you don't even like what America stands for. You believe in using the system to make other people do what you want. And that's what they support. That's why I'm not a fan of these vaccine passports, mandates, anything. It's not the way.
Yeah.
Mandalorian would slap you in the face. This is not the way. So, And I know like you were talking about this before we went live. The military is starting to get towards wanting to mandate it once it gets FDA approval, but they'll also punish you for not taking it if you refuse, with varying and increasing levels of punishment within the military. So it's sort of like they're going to bleed you dry. That's where I have an issue as well. Is this is we're literally ostracizing people from society, and some people you're seeing people get like. You're seeing families get kind of split up about this because some people are shit. I'm down. I'm dead. Some people are very much for this, and some people are very against it. But you're seeing a divide. And it's a big one. You're seeing a very massive divide. I think force is never the way we're supposed to go. Whether it's forcing people to take a vaccine or forcing people to do anything. I mean, I'm a guy who doesn't even really agree with the idea. Like, I don't really agree with the draft. Right? Now, maybe if America got invaded, that'd be a different story, because at that point, you gotta fucking start defending your home. If you're not willing to do that, what fucking good are you? Yeah. But, not to send us overseas for things like Vietnam. I would never say that. Because I didn't really even fully support the Vietnam War. No, when I found out about it, I was like, well, what the fuck did we do this? But yeah, you're still active duty, so I mean, you could speak more onto what the military wants to do for those who refuse to take it or try to fight against it and resist.
I mean, all they're doing for everyone that's like resisting is they're gonna go through, and for the first 2 times you say no, I'm not gonna get it, you are put on like extra duty, and they're just taking you off work, and you go change, and then fucking, well, you know what it is. You were on it.
Yeah.
You go do stupid cleaning or anything that doesn't
Slave
actually
labor.
need to be done.
Yeah, it's all slave labor.
Yeah.
I'm straight up calling it that. It's fucking slave labor, dude.
Well, it is. Like, for
it is.
lack of any other word that equates
It has
to
no
it.
purpose. It has no purpose. It's literally to diminish morale. And you got chotch bags like our Sergeant Major. I won't mention on the well, I can. I don't give a fuck. I'll mention him. Fucking Sergeant Major Robles of 277 Field Artillery. Come fucking at me, dude. I'll fuck you up. That people fucking people like him that will wield the cudgel of authority to make you do what they want. And I'll also just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like they'll beat you into the ground and drag you through the dirt the whole way through. They don't care. You got old heads like him that they're a dying breed and a fucking fossil. They need to get the fuck out of the army. In some cases, their type of leadership can be good, but in a lot of cases, their type of leadership is toxic as shit. Not in the sense that like he's not been around and he's not using it for personal gain, but he is smothering soldiers, trying to chap them out for every which arguable offense. And we were talking about this before too. If you've watched the news, what's going on with us, Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, the shit that is happening, especially under the current administration, we are shooting ourselves in the foot more than we are trying to fight our enemies.
Yeah, because they're just throwing a lot of the people that, like, you get in trouble, but you, like, it's usually the people that want to be in the army that they're getting rid of.
Yeah.
And those are definitely the type of soldiers that you'd want to have on the line instead of who I've seen being kept in.
Yeah. I mean, they're going after the people who will be yes men and brown nosers. They're not going after independent free thinkers and soldiers that will adapt under a plethora of environments and scenarios. They're strictly sticking to people who will be like, remember that whole conversation of compliant versus complicit?
Yeah.
Or whatever, or committed versus complicit, excuse me. You're not keeping the people committed. I mean, they're committed enough because they got nothing else going on in fucking life, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but we have some people in our platoon who never really did shit before. They never did a lot of stuff before. They were like, meh. Like, and I don't want to name names because I don't know if you're streaming and they follow you, but we've got NCOs, we've got soldiers who have nothing going for them in life. They will stay in the army as long as possible to keep that paycheck coming and to keep those benefits coming. not because they like it, but they'll do whatever they say, right? It's like American cops who can't do much else, have never been nothing but a cop, and they don't really have any other skills but being a cop.
And
They will
Yeah.
stay a cop, and then they'll do whatever they're told, even if it's unconstitutional. And they will say, I'll do anything for money. It's the law. Well, sometimes the law is tyrannical.
this fourth guy's coming in
Yeah.
clutch.
Yeah, he really is. This is keeping us alive. We're about to have wave 10, and if we get it to wave 10, we'll have a big payout, because we've also, unless we lose all of our fucking allies, but we'll have a decent amount of them.
What happens if we lose all our allies?
We just get less. We'll still get paid out a lot if we finish all 10 waves, but the payout will be substantially smaller. Well, we were literally beginning the discussion before you came back about the fall of Afghanistan and Kabul to the Taliban, and I got some opinions on that, so
And
I'll let
people
you.
jumping on the U.S. Air Force plane.
Yeah, so I'll let you go first if you want, man, on this one.
And on that, it's really just, to me, a mirror of what happened in Vietnam. We were there, said, hey, we're here to help, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but like the government that was in Afghanistan was pretty much put in place by the U.S.
Yep.
And to me, the entire reason we were there was to train up their army so that they could hopefully stand on their own against the religious extremists that they were dealing with. Or so I was always led to believe. I don't know what everyone else thinks on that, or if that's even the exact reason, but that's what I saw happening a lot, was it'd be like NCOs and stuff training Afghan soldiers, and obviously there was a lot more U.S. military presence than is needed for that type of operation, but
Right.
that is what it is. So I know the Trump administration started the whole pull out of Afghanistan and whatnot,
Right.
and Biden's kind of finished it, albeit prematurely, because it was definitely not ready. But if you're going to be acting as a policing force, you're not ever really going to overcome whatever you're trying to fight against. It's going to happen, especially a religious ideal that is being carried out by, I wouldn't say freedom fighters or guerrillas necessarily, just a militia pretty much.
Yeah. A guerrilla warfare militia for sure.
Yeah. And like, you're never going to get rid of that. That will always be around.
Yeah. They couldn't drive the Soviets out in the 80s, man. And granted, we kind of armed and equipped the Mujahideen in the 80s to fight the Soviets, because we were just like, anything at that point that would have inhibited Russia's ability to do anything was what we were all about at that time, because we thought Russia was the biggest threat.
Yeah, but now who are we fighting?
I know. Well,
You're down
fighting
too,
China.
Jason?
Huh?
You're down too, or dead?
I was already down, but I don't think it tells you that I'm down. I don't know.
I'm already dead.
But
So I gave up.
basically, I think that the withdrawal from Afghanistan was not carried out right, and that is a majority of the reason why the Taliban has the hold that they have now. If it was executed properly, then yes, the Taliban still would have been like a big deal, but they wouldn't have taken over Kabul and had millions of dollars worth of military equipment readily available to them. Like, we left Blackhawks and shit there with what I'm always told is like super top secret software shit in them.
Yeah.
And now they have access to that. Granted, they probably don't know how to fly them, but with the ANA, we trained up pilots and shit for their Air Force. And now the Tally has control of said people. Who's to say those ANA guys aren't going to teach them how to fly a helicopter?
Right.
To save their own skins. It's shit like that. Like, if it was executed properly a slow withdrawal, which was the original plan, instead of everybody leave right now, we're done,
Yeah.
then we could have avoided that and not have left fucking millions of dollars worth of shit there to just be taken.
I think there's that logistical nightmare, and then when you see videos of people clinging to the side of a C-17 to get away from the Taliban, falling off the plane and falling to their deaths at over 2,000 feet in the air. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I saw that, I got some serious 9/11 vibes.
Yeah.
I was watching that shit. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't as visceral, where like you were seeing the bodies hit the ground and basically explode from 9/11. But
Yeah.
we were seeing, we made it to round. That's pretty good. We made it to round 10, guys. I think it's the same thing though. People are literally choosing. They would rather die. They would rather fall to their death and die in an instant than to live in Afghanistan with the Taliban in control. Especially if you help the U.S. or you were like a Western sympathizer, a coalition sympathizer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they always make the jokes, you can tell which of the Taliban were actually trained by us because they have like trigger discipline and shit. I'm gonna abandon with you guys. We can play another Call to Arms after this, but what the hell? The game is like shitting its pants. My whole game is like loading in the entire world at once, and it's pretty weird to see. But oh, there we go. I think you're right about how it's our Saigon. This is our generation's Vietnam War that we really just didn't do it right. The plan was to leave gradually, like you said, and leave in such a gradual way while still pushing the Taliban back, that we would be able to, we would enable the ANA to assume operations in the region. The problem was the Taliban is a terrorist organization. So what do you think they did? They said, if you don't give up your secrets, give up your guns, give up the Americans, we were going to slaughter your family. And that, sure enough, sure as schnitzel, fucking happened all the goddamn time. What the fuck? I only got like 160 something bucks off that. That was garbage. Just hit to finish the whole. Well, if you finish the whole Call to Arms actual game mode, you'll get like $1,000. So I think you're right. We definitely screwed the pooch on it. We didn't go in. We didn't conduct ourselves the way we were supposed to. But also, like, that's not a. You can't nation build Afghanistan, man. Like, it happened in the early 1900s. It happened in the 1980s. It happened in the 2000s. We tried constantly to do this shit and just didn't work. So why were we thinking this was going to work now? By the way, I'm about to be hunted down by bounty hunters.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Why can't I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But I
Personally,
think...
I don't think the U.S. should have gotten involved in Afghanistan at all.
Well, what did we say our reasoning for Afghanistan was, right? We were always saying that it was because we were trying to find the guys that committed 9/11. It's like, okay, I understand that. It happened for 9/11. We should have, the minute we found out Osama bin Laden was not in Afghanistan, that he was instead in Pakistan, we should have turned tail and beat Bush the hell out of Afghanistan. That should have been what we did off the bat. Staying in there to try and, I don't know, nation build after we just fucked the whole place up, over 10 years or something, was not really the move. Like, that was a bad move, man.
Yeah.
So, I just think it wasn't the right move, and I think whether or not we went to Afghanistan, like whether or not you and I went to Afghanistan, we know people that did go to Afghanistan. We know soldiers that served and fought, that killed and had buddies die and got injured in Afghanistan, pretty grievously too, like, might I add. And I think this other player's probably trying to scope me out here a second. So I don't know. This motherfucker needs to stop following me around.
That's me.
Oh, is that you? Oh, I didn't even see your gamer tag. I was like, well, I'm wanted right now, so I don't know what the fuck's happening. Are you part of my posse?
No.
Oh shit! All right, hang on. Let me kill these guys and I'll send you an invite or something. I did not even see your gamer tag. I was like, who the fuck is following me around? And why is this person, like, why is they right on me? I thought you were about to try and pop me to get the bounty. Hang on.
I thought about it, and I was like, nah.
Let me... I can't invite you until the bounty is over.
John.
So,
I don't know if I'm gonna call you by your real name, John.
We've already done that already.
so if we do first names, it's not too bad. I wouldn't say first and last names together.
I don't know his last name.
Okay. Alright, I gotta get out of the area. Shit. Oh, sorry, horse. Do you think we were smart to try and negotiate with the Taliban, or should we have just said no? Because, I mean, even though it was done under Trump, so whether you think that was a good idea or not, I was a little skeptical about why we were trying to negotiate with a terrorist organization. I thought we were... we don't fucking negotiate with terrorists. That's not our game. It's not our MO. And it seems like we lost a lot of that sentiment.
You want to get on our horse?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Can't negotiate with terrorists. Like
Exactly. So were we right to try and think that the Taliban would uphold any of this deal, or
No.
yeah?
I mean,
like,
you could be hopeful, but
yeah, but
trusting them in the first place is just stupid.
yeah, it's not a good idea.
I thought that was a terrible call on Trump administration half.
Yeah, it wasn't his best. It wasn't his best move. Got him. I was never a fan of it, and I always thought it was a bad deal. I thought we were silly to try and trust these guys. And I would say the same thing with Afghanistan. Once Saddam fucking hung from the end of the rope, we should have been like, we're out. We're leaving, bye-bye. We're not going to stick around. This is not our battle. Afghanistan is not our country. And we've had the conversation about why we even ever left for Iraq in the first place, and that has more to do with the petrodollar and kind of our hold on the market of oil and gas. Maybe not gas, but definitely oil. And how that's sort of been this unmitigated disaster that we dropped the ball so hard so many times. And I'm going to send you this posse invite. Join us. So I don't know. I mean, what is the right move? How should we have gone about our withdrawal? Really? I mean, if there's any way to do it right, what is the right way to do it?
I mean, personally, I don't think there is a right way to withdraw when you promise a country that, hey, we're going to help you police your shit.
Right.
I don't think that
Hey, John,
can be
what's up?
done.
Yeah.
You traitor.
But
Welcome to the channel.
if we had done it properly, obviously the Taliban's still going to be an issue, but the ANA might not have just rolled over immediately. They might have actually put up a fight. The president might not have fled. There's a whole bunch of coulda, woulda, shoulda in this situation because it's completely fucked in the first place.
Good heavens. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, what were we really? We never really stated what our goal was, right? Our mission never had an end goal. I think that's one of the biggest things. You don't start a 20-year military campaign in a foreign country, especially one as volatile as Afghanistan, with a history like Afghanistan's. You don't just go in there and say, we're just going to do this with no end goal in sight. That doesn't really work. I don't think that makes for effective foreign policy strategy. That's just not a fucking good move. Not a good look for us. And now you've got China mocking the shit out of us. They openly stated, because someone leaked some bullshit press briefing type of thing that said that American soldiers were in Taiwan. I don't know if that's actually true, but China immediately said any American soldiers, like, and they didn't say if, they said when we take Taiwan, when we invade and attack Taiwan to take it, any American service members will be, they were basically saying they're going to slaughter us. Which, like, here's the problem. China's not North Korea. They're not starving as badly, but I wouldn't discount it, right? I wouldn't discount them. They're not somebody I would just fuck with like that.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeesh. I saw that. Where's this motherfucker going? Where are you going, boy? I definitely think we should have had an end game. We should have said, this is what our goal is, this is what we're trying to do, and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah,
never had that.
Actually set an objective instead of...
Yeah. And if we had said, once Iraq has been liberated from Saddam Hussein and his Ba'ath Party loyalists, we should have gotten the fuck out of Dodge. We should have said, at that point, there is a ticking clock on this deal, on this mission, and we're going to leave. We're going to train you up for the next 4 to 5 years. We're not going to give you any fucking, we might give you, like, small arms weapons, like rifles and shit. But we're not going to give you a bunch of tanks and shit. No way. Maybe Humvees, maybe some stuff like that. Maybe some 50 cals and Mark 19s. But we're not about to give them a bunch of weapons, a bunch of, like, high-end weapons like that. That's a bad idea. I think with regards to all of that, we need to understand that this wasn't sustainable. And I don't think we saw that. Nice. So I don't know if it was ever really sustainable.
No.
Why would you stop?
I'm assuming that was probably his phone going off or something.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's she's got this little birthday card that sings.
Oh, it's saying, okay. I thought you were a lawman coming around the corner like that. I'd take a shot at you. I realized you had the blue name above your head. I was like, never mind. I don't know, man. I mean, I have the idea that we'll probably be reinvading entirely by the end of the year. I don't. And also, this was a big thing that Biden had to try and push back because, he's not beholden to the American people. He's beholden to corporate backers, and especially the military-industrial complex. I think that Biden was going to keep us in there because he wants to keep giving his buddy multi-hundred-million-dollar contracts, if not, all this other shit that's going on. He had no intention of ending the wars. He never wanted the wars to end. He was like, absolutely, wars mean money. So, when the wars are a big payout for you, why would you stop it? You're not gonna cut off your source of income. So I never saw Biden legitimately doing it. I always knew it was some sort of freaking just smoke and mirrors bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So. I don't know what the general consensus is within the military because I'm not anymore. I hear some of the gripes and concerns and issues that are had, but usually never anything beyond just that, just kind of grumblings and dissatisfaction with current policies and whatnot. I'm gonna fast travel back to camp real quick. I'm gonna sell some stuff to my trade table, and then I can start up another call to arms. Hopefully we get to round 10 this time. Let me see. I had some stuff for you. I mean, we're being mocked as a paper tiger of what we once were, right? I mean, the people we once supported are now being tortured, raped, murdered, and executed in the streets. And I know murdered and executed is kind of redundant, but they really are. They're fucking dudes up, chopping people's limbs off, chopping their heads off. If they had DOD ID cards, they're being melted onto their chests and stuff. It's really, really brutal, man. It's bad shit. These are people that helped us, right? These are ANA soldiers that refuse to back down. These are, you know, interpreters that assisted us, and they're being brutalized, and we're not doing anything. So it's sort of aggravating to see this happen. It's like, this isn't what the fuck we were trying to do here. This was never our intention. We are not trying to fucking leave behind this dog turd of a situation. We genuinely do want to fucking, like, help. The problem is, people making the decisions, no, they're trash. I mean, when you have Biden being asked, what do you think of the people falling off planes? And his response is, that was 4 days ago, 5 days ago, come on, man. Like, fuck out of here. Who left this buffoon in charge? Like, can we just have like, what is the military's perception of Joe Biden as the commander-in-chief?
Well, like with a normal society, there's differing views, but for the majority, from what I've seen, it's that he's retarded and should not be in office. Excuse my use of that hard R, but
yeah,
he's not fit to be president.
Yeah, he's not. And, I mean, what happens if they 25th Amendment Biden and then we have President Harris? I mean, she didn't even get any support in the primaries. Tulsi Gabbard came and nuked her whole campaign. I mean, what's going to happen with Kamala Harris as president when China takes Taiwan? And bear in mind, China doesn't recognize the independence of they don't recognize the sovereignty or the independence of Taiwan or Hong Kong. They genuinely think they own everyone. They don't care. They will slaughter anybody who tries to stand in their way. And that's why I'm saying, by the way, I'm starting a trade mission. Just
I see that. I'm
putting some money in the old pocket.
I'm in a fight for my life down here.
You're good. I just fast traveled to the camp and kicked off the mission because I had a few things to donate. And I was like, well, might as well. I mean, what happens if Joe Biden has to negotiate with Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping or any of these guys? You know what I mean? Like, what happens then? North Korea is not even already like, I don't fucking talk to you. Like, what? No. Not that I'm worried about North Korea. After hearing everything about North Korea from Yeonmi Park and anybody that's come out of there, their military would fucking be slaughtered. I mean, like, they'll fight because they believe that they're serving a god, but they're not fighting because they're not going to be capable of fighting. These people wake up in the morning and they have to take like 30 minutes to just get over the disorientation of being starving. Have you seen the pictures of North Koreans? They look awful. I mean, you would hear Yeonmi Park's story escaping from North Korea. When they found him in China, when they escaped North Korea and got to China, people that found him weren't even sure they looked human because of how just dysmorphed they were from being starved the whole time. That's the kind of country that they're going to try and fight us. Like, dude, no. I'm sorry, but no. Fuck no. They don't know shit. They're going to, China will be the one fighting that war. But the thing is, China can only fight so much. If they have to financially back North Korea and then we just pancake them into the earth, then they're probably going to cut their losses, but they're going to come straight into war with us. At that point, if the world unified, we could take out China and Russia, and hopefully not the Russian people, but the Russian government. And that is something that could happen. But how do you fight a regime that's that powerful, that has that much? I mean, it's mostly illicit income. It's not like these people are like this glorious capitalist nation. Even China isn't, but China has what 2 billion people or something like that. Over a couple minutes, their military is at least in the millions. Like our military is like 330,000 or some shit. It's literally 1% or something of a U.S. population.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild that's actually like a thing. I don't know, man. With the way the military is going, with the way our politics is going, with the way everything in this country is going societally, down to its core, We're gonna get shit canned in fucking World War III, man. We're going to get fucking decimated. And I already think we're on our way to being kicked out of the #1 spot as a world superpower. I think China's gonna take it. And China doesn't give a fuck what they do to get it. That's the difference. They don't have the moral compass to guide them from doing really bad shit. I mean, they're already putting Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. Joe Biden won't say anything about that. They will not criticize China. Absolutely will not criticize China. And the MSM will not criticize Joe Biden. So we're stuck with just this obvious bullshit going on, where we all know it's happening. Just no one's saying anything about it.
Yeah. The world's a shit show.
The world's an absolute shit show. Well, he gave his really shitty press conference about the fall of Afghanistan, and there were some things he said that I actually kind of agreed with. You know, the war had to end. He did say he wasn't going to say. He said something about like not passing it on to the next administration, which I think like that I do kind of agree with. Like it does need to end. The execution horrible. I put that all on him. Every Afghani that has died as a result is on his hands. He has so much blood on his hands. His hand is everything. That man is slick with blood because he's responsible for so many bodies just dropping. And you just I don't know, man. I mean, the worst part is what if Kamala Harris gets 25th Amendment too, and then what? We have Speaker Pelosi. Dude, that would be the match that starts civil war. I'm sorry, I can't say what I'm gonna say because the feds will show up at my door, but like people are not okay with it. People don't even want Nancy Pelosi to be fucking alive, man. People, and I'm not saying I'm not condoning violence. I'm not advocating for anyone to hurt anybody or commit violence or murderous acts, but people have expressed such dissatisfaction with Nancy Pelosi that they have said some pretty harmful things to like online openly. They said like I would do XYZ to prevent Nancy Pelosi from ever taking office. I mean, I'm sorry, but she's an 81-year-old just raging alcoholic. Now, I don't know if maybe it's her conscience and she just can't stand to be sober for more than 5 seconds. Maybe she hates her own existence that goddamn much. But, yeah, dude, I just, it's bad. It's real bad. We have no leadership.
Never knew
No
how old
real
she was.
leadership. She's fucking 80 or 81, man. I mean, Maxine Waters is also that fucking piece of shit out of California, who came to the city of the Minneapolis where the George Floyd trial was happening and said like, you know, we have to basically said be a terrorist until we get what we want, you know. So like now the Democrats are terrorists. Oh God, fuck! I was trying to jump on the train. I just got smacked by it. Let's take the train, by the way. Still unsure as if we can find if we can find the Night Folk in RDO, but I always like to try. But, and I don't like Mark Milley, man. The fucking Army Chief of Staff can you, without saying anything that would get yourself in trouble, obviously. What is the military opinion of General Mark Milley right now? How it comes out and says, I want to understand white rage and all this woke bullshit.
No one actually like pays attention to him, honestly.
But the problem is, he's the one that just directs a lot of military policy. I mean, he is the one who, when push comes to shove, he is the chief of staff, so his opinion will be sought after.
Fuck.
And his sergeant
Did you
major
miss
of
the
the Army
jump?
choice wasn't that great. You know what I mean? Are y'all trying to get on the train?
I'm good.
I think
No,
Austin
we're good.
failed
Nope, we're
on
good.
jumping.
I'm on.
Alright.
Oh,
I'll say.
he failed.
Spotting, if you want to get on the train, I took the bastard. I don't know where we're at, but I think we're a
I
little
don't even
ways.
know where I'm at.
Heartland.
We're up northeast of you. by a little bit. We're on the train tracks, though, obviously, so if you follow that, you'll find us. Um, so, the point is that the world is kind of this, like, just shithole right now, right? All the bad leaders are in power. We look like we're on our way to war. I mean, have you heard of the two concepts? And they're talked about a lot on Timcast, if you're familiar with who Tim Pool is and his work. But they were talking about it over the last several months. They've been talking more about it from time to time, a little less in recent time. But I think it's called Thucydides' trap, which is, and then Strauss-Howe generational theory. And one of them, Strauss-Howe generational theory, says in American history, every 80 years there's a major conflict. 80 years ago was roughly World War II. 80 years before that was the Civil War. 80 years before that, we were kind of wrapping up the Revolutionary War and everything. You know, it's kind of crazy that that's actually a thing. And now we're at this point where it's been 80 years and we're kind of ready for the next big conflict, and it looks like it's going to be with China. And these aren't small conflicts, right? I wouldn't say like Afghanistan, Iraq, not necessarily. But definitely China and Russia, definitely North Korea and Iran. And I would say maybe it's not even China, maybe it's Iran that will come out and try to do some shit. Because we know if we let them just exist on their own without smacking them on the fucking wrist and ass every now and then, saying no, you're not allowed to do this, you're a criminal. Remember that. They'll just do whatever they want. They'll nuke Israel. They'll nuke America. They'll nuke Europe. They don't give a fuck. And it's funny. I said Israel first, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that are just shit human beings that are like, oh yeah, that's fine, kill all the Jews. They don't give a shit what happens. They say they're about equality, but the minute it's like, what about Jewish people? It's like, they cause all the wars. They're the reason for the instability in the Middle East. Blah. It's like, oh, so you're full of crap.
I mean, the whole thing behind instability in the Middle East is religion. You have those two clashing religions that basically say the other one is the enemy.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just two religions. It's Western religion versus Middle East Arabic religion. I mean, I hate to say it. It sounds really, really Islamophobic, which phobic is not the right word. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of any group of people based on what they believe or who they are, what they look like. That I don't care about. So Islamophobic is the wrong term. But I'm definitely wary if someone's practiced 6th century any religion. I mean, you can tell me you practice 6th century Judaism, and I'd be like, get the fuck away from me. Because guess what happens? In old ancient Judaism, if you were caught outside on Shabbos on a Friday night, between Friday night and Saturday night, you would get stoned to death. They would kill you. Like, no, any old first century, first millennium religion is probably garbage. We're gonna stop in roads for a little bit, but I mean, you can't have it. The fact that these people are they do not want to integrate into the world. They want the world to integrate to them, which means they want the world to be Islamic. They want an Islamic planet. They do not want to have to like conform to any of our shit. They want us to conform to them. That's always been the case. It's never not been the case.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, take that as you will, but I genuinely do kind of believe that. I think that when it comes to trying to fight as extremist religion in the Middle East, that is not a battle you're likely to win.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You're not really ever going to win a battle against any sort of ideology, religion, anything like that. You can just...
Yeah.
You'll have another 20-year war, and everyone's going to hate you for it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, I've never been a fan of it being conducted like that. It just generally never goes well. So... I don't know if there's a way to do that kind of, and I you know what I heard is if we really wanted to nation build Afghanistan, we would have to stay there for 100 years to undo the work of generations and generations of just extremist, old-fashioned, old world religious views. You'd have to do that for 100 years to essentially undo the generational programming of people. There's no way you're gonna stop them in just 20. You haven't killed off enough of the old generations or convinced enough of the new generations to accept your way of viewing the world. It just doesn't happen. It's not going to be the case, man. So, and of course, we're not going to do that. We're not going to stay in any country for 100 years. That's not long. That's not sustainable. You can't do that. Even the old empires of the biblical days didn't ever do that shit. Nobody had the capability.
Of course not.
So I don't really know what. Again, I don't have the way forward, but I do think when it comes to how we conduct ourselves across the planet, we need to start doing this is what the U.S. military is good at. We are good at fucking shit up. We are good at kicking the door in and fucking up bad guys and blowing up like terrorists and all that shit. We are really, really good at it. When you need someone shot in the face and just removed from the goddamn system, when you need someone removed from existence, right? Like, you call in the U.S. military. I would not call in the U.S. military ever again for nation building or maybe not humanitarian, because we can do some good humanitarian stuff, right? We can do disaster relief and all those things, but we are not meant for long-term nation-building operations. That's just not who we are. So, I think the days of us trying to do nation-building are behind us. I think you're probably going to see in about another decade, you're going to see us probably leave Iraq as well. I don't know. And then I think you're going to see us. I think we're going to cut our losses with the Middle East and just pull out of all these places. That's no longer our priority. That's not what we should be doing. All right, I'm gonna hop back on the train spawning if you want to get on, because I'm about to get out of here. I don't feel like I just stopped by to fuck some shit up. I didn't really plan on sticking around forever. So.
I got a $150 bounty.
What? How have you not been getting hunted down by fucking bounty hunters this whole time?
I have no idea.
But I don't know, man. We kind of talked about everything today. I just think the overall kind of thing we're seeing is that the world is kind of fucked. Both in and out. In the U.S., we're fucked up. We have the wrong people in charge. I think with this next year, you're going to see a midterm election. You're going to see a lot of Republicans take seats in the House and the Senate. You're going to see a continued push from the Democrats to cheat and to overthrow the system and to have one-party rule. They don't want any opposition. They want one-party rule. And they want it to be on their terms. I think they're going to continue to manipulate and cheat the system, and that's what we're gonna continue to see. We're gonna see liberals and Democrats break the rules and cheat and lie and continue to spread propaganda and misinformation about people that they generally disagree with. You're gonna see a lot more conservatives come under fire. You're going to see a lot more libertarians coming over. Libertarians are now being... Some people think libertarians are a domestic terrorist threat. Like, are you shitting me with that?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, libertarians are the most leave-you-alone type of people that exist. We don't want to be in charge of you. We want to throw out the corrupt. We want to take out the career politicians and these corrupt bastards. We don't have any desire to try and force you to live our way of life. There's always that meme that says like libertarians are diligently plotting to take over the world and leave you alone. You know, it's not about fucking being like, oh, you can't do this, or you're not allowed to own that, or blah blah blah. It's like, no, man, we don't give a fuck what you do. So long as you don't hurt anybody, we don't care.
Yeah.
So, that's why I've become I've almost become anti-democrat, anti-liberal, because it's no longer the stance it once was 20 years ago. I mean, the guys like the original Jon Stewart Daily Show was one of the best shows out there, because even though, yes, he was a Democrat, he was liberal, he actually had conviction about what he believed in. He actually stood for something. He didn't just stand against something. He had his own beliefs and his own policy ideas, and he actually cared. He actually wanted to help people. It wasn't just about power for him. Same with Jimmy Dore. Same with and maybe less on this one, but guys on YouTube like Vosh, right? I mean, I think he's an oxymoron. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He calls himself a libertarian socialist, which isn't a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing. Not really. I mean, you could be center-left libertarian. That may be a better way to describe what he is. But he's got some interesting views. But at least, like, he comes from a place of some intelligence. Oh. Who just left their horse in the road and got it run over by the train?
Not me.
It wasn't my horse. I'm hoping it's none of ours.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I am curious and concerned. I'm taking a boat. We're going out on the water, boys.
Try.
We always try, but it still kills us after a certain point. All right, let's get our little flotilla going. Everyone, grab a boat if you can. This guy coming in the harbor, I'm gonna pop him out of his seat and take his boat. Yeah, I think we need to stop voting for people that are corrupt. I think we need to start voting for people that have actual conviction and constitution to what they stand for.
I mean, nobody's not corrupt.
I think you're right in some regards, but not entirely, because I do believe there are people who would take leadership positions, like political leadership positions, and actually want to do it for good. I mean, it's the same reason people join the military, because they want to do good things. People become teachers because they want to do good, right? So I do think there are people that get into politics with the best of intentions, but I think the way the game is played, it turns a lot of people towards corruption. It steers people away from their goals and their policy issues that really matter to them, really matter to their constituents. And that's why you get politicians that are no longer beholden to their constituents. Did you take out that boat operator?
Yes.
Okay. Here, let's
I
take
need
it
to
now.
run. I'm gonna drown.
I got a boat. I'm about to come pick up everybody.
Were you about to take them out?
I was, but here you took out the boat operator, so you can operate the boat. Hey, let's grab Sponic in that boat right there. Justin, is that you on the pier not shooting at the cops?
That is me.
Of course it is. Goddamn goody two-shoe over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want negative honor. Boy, this is an outlaw game.
Don't move away, don't move, don't move.
Wait, Justin's coming.
I know. I'm
Go
turning
back.
around.
We gotta get him.
I'm turning around.
Oh my gosh.
See another trading merchant craft out there.
Alright, where to?
We got a boat coming that I can take, so we can start all getting our own boats. That's where I'm aiming at. Well, I wouldn't take us too much closer to the harbor, because we're gonna get shot the fuck up.
I'm trying not to. I can only control this boat so much.
I know. I'm going for it. Woo!
Another one way out there.
See another one coming into the harbor soon. I think so. One thing I wanted to get your opinion on, while we have you here, is so people are always saying civil war or a revolution. It's been called many things. The boogaloo, although and Twitch. Fucking relax. I know it's a big no-no word for a lot of circles of society, but that's what it was called. So we're just going by what it was called. People have said there's going to be some sort of uh, armed conflict between American society. Like people are going to be shooting at each other, and other people have called for a peaceful divorce, right? Or even some people have said a balkanization of the states, where the states start to really take their own rights into their hand, but they start to gain their own full autonomy. Like the states would be their own federal entities in some ways. We got a boat coming in that we're both heading towards, so we'll just head in the general direction. What do we think about that? Like, is that a thing we want to have? I don't know if it's something we want to have happen, but I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And which one is? I mean, which one do you think is more likely to happen? Like a balkanization, a civil war, or a peaceful divorce between states, like a separating of the states through legislation, not really so much through like armed force, but having it be this sort of legal process where we peacefully divorce, and we'd still trade and do business with one another. We'd still recognize ourselves as a country, but what policies in certain places only work in certain places. We wouldn't have you wouldn't have gun laws from New York really applying to like Texas or Colorado or Florida, for example.
Honestly, I foresee a civil war if all of Biden's like gun laws and stuff that he wants goes through, but vulcanization is a lot more of a real possibility.
I think so, because you already see some states have the 2A sanctuaries, or when you have states coming out and said we will not recognize any of the Biden administration's federal gun control laws, and they will not be allowed to be enforced by federal personnel in this state. And they even said if you send the ATF or the FBI or any federal entity into our state to try and enforce these gun laws, we will arrest and use force against them as necessary. And that's like, you're literally having a state say they would fight the federal government.
Yeah.
States say they would fight the federal government, and that's like, we're okay. That's different. That's a lot different than just saying, well, we're just not going to enforce it. I think that's a different set of rules happening. And what do you think? What's the real big question is what happens to the military in that case, right? And what's going to happen to the federal Department of Defense, all of this stuff, How are we going to operate as a nation when we're falling apart? And how is our military going to operate? How is our Department of Justice and, all this other stuff? How is that all going to play out if we if that kind of stuff happens,
I mean, I think it'd be pretty much just
I don't know if you're seeing
military
that too, Austin, is the horses
Yeah.
walking
fracture, and then
Here's a boat, Justin.
you'd have the political side of it, where your fucking like congressmen and all them are
I know,
arguing amongst themselves, and they'll split and fracture into their little factions and whatnot, and it'd look like the Civil War pretty much. You'd have sides based on what they believe
All right.
in.
Right.
So it wouldn't just be like little onesie, twosie. I don't like the government, so I'm going to fight the government. It's like you'd have like Republicans, Democrats,
So
liberals.
weird. Why are they up on the water?
What the fuck?
I'm
you
sure
saying
They're
Shit.
looking for me.
Oh.
But like you'd have essentially a multi-factioned fight. Like I can almost guarantee you a lot of the military would essentially desert.
You think? Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the country's not willing to fight her. We're not willing to fight each other. Like, I think most of us would say, no, I'm not going to shoot an innocent American civilian. Like, that's not who we are. That's not what we signed up for the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't sign up to shoot our own countrymen. And I mean, I think a lot of us forgot that. We're really like, oh, well, I mean, whatever, man. Well, you know, people. It's the same with cops. Cops are supposed to uphold and defend our Constitution and our laws. But the problem is, so many of our laws contradict the Constitution. So then we're like, well, what do we do? And the politicians will shit on every law, every constitutional amendment they can, if it means that their agenda gets met. All right, I guess Justin's leading the way.
No, because I'm wanted apparently.
I think
Nice.
everyone's wanted.
Because of,
I'm
of
not
when
right-
they were
I'm
in the
not.
water. I don't know if you saw
Surprisingly,
that.
I'm not. I am not wanted.
I've had a wanted level for like an hour now.
I say I'm surprised your like wanted radius isn't like the whole map.
It pretty much is anytime I go near a town.
That's funny. Let's see if I can get on this ship out here. I'm gonna tip board this ship. I should actually try to park the boat in front of it.
Yeah. Well, we have to go in a little bit. So.
Well, we can kind of bullshit around until you have to leave, but I'm curious because I know that a lot of people in the military don't fully agree with the current administration and the policies they take. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to have a full citizenry that's willing to just kind of be like, yeah, this is all okay, everything's fine. Oh yeah, we can all hop on this boat right here if you want. But I do think we're getting to a place where, you know, like we're no longer the United States. We are definitely a divided states of America. I mean, we don't agree on anything. We don't want to. Most of us feel some type of way about the COVID vaccine. Some of us feel some type of way about the government, our policies. We don't get along anymore. We don't have discourse because having open conversation is like taboo or some shit now. I don't know why, but it is. Like having an open and honest discourse about what the fuck is going on in the country is like, I don't know, apparently it's anti-government
Frowned upon
sentiment. Yeah, did you see the thing where it's like signs of extremism might be anti-government sentiment or resistance to COVID measures? And it's like, fuck you, fuck off, fuck you, fuck everything you stand for. Like you are not a decent person, my friend. Like you do not represent the United States very well. You shit all over the Constitution. You do your own thing. It is no longer about. Are you trying to steer the boat? 'Cause it's kind of working. I wish you'd get inside the boat. Eventually, this boat's just gonna sink. But I don't know, Austin and Justin, if y'all have any kind of opinions on the matter.
No, I got nothing.
I just know
Yeah.
the world's falling apart.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're just living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think about when we were all born. I mean, Sponik is quite a bit younger than us. We're all 27, 28. Sponik is what are you 20? You're 22, right?
Almost.
Almost. Yeah, you're gonna turn 22 here in a few months,
I
aren't
wish I
you?
was 21 again.
Yeah, right. Those are the days. I don't give a
Well,
shit about
not the
nothing,
days
man.
anymore.
No, definitely not.
Those were the days when we were
Definitely
21,
not.
but now that now that you're 21 now, it's a bad time.
Yeah, it's a bad time. It's just a bad time to be an American. It's a bad time to be an American in America, I think, because we no longer really stand for the things we used to stand for. We don't do. We are the world's most dominant superpower, globally, economically. What?
Um,
What did you do to the boat?
I'm dead.
Good heavens! Oh God! Let me on! No!
He sank us.
Oh, I'm alive. Holy shit, I'm alive.
I didn't
That
even
is
know you
hilarious.
could sink boats.
I think the boat just automatically sinks on its own after a while. We're on the high seas, mateys. But I'm curious as to what's going to happen. A little concerned. A little concerned. Just because this is not really something we haven't gone through in our lifetime. Definitely not. It's not something even most of our parents ever saw, you know? Good God. Good Lord, man. Are you daft? Are we gonna steer this thing? Let's do it.
These boats have such a terrible turning radius.
I know. Well, it's an old fucking merchant boat, you know? Yo, let's send the boat to Mexico. I'm being serious. Let's send the boat to Mexico and try to hop on. Because you can technically go to Mexico, but like a really weird type of way. No! I said Mexico. You're going to Mexico, damn it.
Kind of disappointed they don't have Mexico as an area in this one.
Yeah, I know. I was a little bummed out about it too.
I think I'm stuck on it.
I'm not stuck on it, but it's definitely stuck on the boat in front of it. Justin, are you swimming back to shore?
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna make it.
You're not gonna make it, buddy.
We won't make it.
Here we have two males trying to. I guess what are you trying to do? Steer a big boat
Yes.
with your
Exactly what
small
I'm
boat?
trying to do, man. I want to.
It's not cooperating whatsoever.
It's not
though.
cooperating. It's like this thing's got the turn radius and the shift change of a modern day vehicle, and we're over here in these old dingy ass 1899 merchant little schooners or whatever you want to call it.
How much do you want to bet if I'll make it or not?
You're not making it. You're dying. Oh shit! I just saw you pull yourself up on that boat.
Yep.
Well, can you make it to the shore in one go? I think the answer is negative, sir.
Probably not in one go, but when
What if we can steer this boat?
I cheated my way over to this boat.
Is it really cheating? Well, I think I don't know if we got anything else to say on this episode, but I think it was a good one. Spotting, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for being our special guest.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna do this
Our
more
first
often-
official special guest.
Yeah, and if you do want to continue doing this, if you ever want to join us, we're always on Saturday or Sunday mornings. Usually Saturday. Today's a special thing. Yesterday I had some stuff going on that I needed to take care of. Oh God, I just got ragdolled underwater by your boat, the boat behind you.
Yeah, I ran into it.
I know. I was like already underwater, and then like I ragdoll underwater already, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh, pfft. What? What? What just happened? Anywho, well,
I think you hit your head a little hard.
yeah, didn't even hit anything. I just kind of flopped over like a dead fish. Well, if this is something you would like to do, when we get done with this episode here soon, Austin will share some stuff with the Discord. We can give you whatever to become part of that page, as well as we have, you know, we've been looking for a fifth and possibly even sixth co-host members, because our usual fourth member has just been dealing with a lot of life lately, and
For a while.
hasn't been on for a while, and I mean it's fine, everything, you know, shit happens, man. But I would say you know, and if you want to be our fifth member, that's totally fine with us. We would all welcome that. Oof. So, but that's really been it. Thank you to ODST 545 for joining us today. I have been Donut081893.
I've been Lord of the Reams.
And I have been just in time for TV.
All right, and that was episode 30 of the Thunderdome podcast. We'll do the Discord. Follow us on Twitch. Same names as our gamer tags. You should also follow the Instagram. Your boy Slick Ricky Bobby. Definitely. I think everyone here's followed it and at some point has appreciated the memes shared on that page. Sponic, do you have any other social medias that you want people, if they want to follow you, where they follow you at? If you want to, if not,
because then it'll look like terrorism rising up.
Right. that is okay. Follow the Twitch, follow Discord, follow the YouTube pages, both Lord of the Rings and Just in Time for TV. It's where the Thunderdome podcast goes up later in the day after we record. And if anybody wants to be another co-host, we're looking for more people. We're looking for more people to talk and have dialogue with. So if you think that is something you would like to do, please hit us up either through Twitch, Discord, or anything in between. And unless anybody's got anything else to share, I think that's a wrap for episode 30.
Shout out to GalaxyCon for picking up the voice of Master Chief, Steve Downs, and the voice of Cortana, Jen Taylor, for a signing.
On that real quick, I don't know if you saw, but the Brazilian voice actor for Cortana was murdered.
Oh, wow.
A little while ago.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Jesus Christ. That is some very unfortunate news.
Yeah.
I don't even know what her name is, but
No,
That's
I,
sad.
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
it's very sad.
I mean, it is Brazil, so like shit happens in Brazil, man. But well, if we got nothing else to add, that's all for this week. We'll catch you next weekend, Saturday morning on the Thunderdome podcast, and we'll see you all then.
All right. See y'all later, everybody. See you later, everybody.